What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and it is the first of the month. Some of y'all know what this means, but if this is your first time at one of these videos, pay close attention. First of the month every month is the reset of the Seiros and Dulb Shop. What does that mean? Let's get into it because, well, if you're aching for Iris like a lot of us are, this is a golden opportunity. I mean, a really, really, really good opportunity to acquire some Iris. So let's jump in, shall we? First thing you need to know, Seiros and Dulb Shop. If you go to shop here, go to the Seiros and Dulb Shop. This basically is a shop that gives you a bunch of different things. So you can get some hero lights here, you can get some prism bonds here, but the most important thing, and the reason that I say this is something you need to do every month, is we go down here. Number one, you can get some 2 and 3 star tickets, but since you're after Iris, I would say save those for last. Come down here, and you want to grab some of these glorious CP items, all right? These are super duper important, basically because I know all of us are sitting here trying to get back up to 8K for part 3, which thankfully, well, for better or worse, got extended, but we've basically got, from now, 25 days to go from, I've got almost 3K to 8K. So, War Game, Record Buster, all of that, but we're going to need a little bit more. So let's go ahead and explain why this is a thing, and maybe a few other things that you want to pay attention to along the way. Now, first and foremost, if we go back out here to the main page, click the little gear icon up here at the top, and if you go to Inventory, and this little bond window right here, I said bond window, not crafting material, this will list all of the bonds for all the units that you have in the game. Now, you'll notice here, Wealth has 6, and Bet has 6, and some of these units have like 4 or 5. Hestia's got 7. So, first things first is you want to consider selling all of your excess bonds. What do I mean by excess bonds? Well, units like Hestia here, if I want to max her out, basically 5 bonds is the max that you would need. Now, obviously, if you've got the actual unit here, it's not going to count. And if you fed some in, let's say for the sake of argument with Mikoto here, she's got 1 bond. That might mean that I'm in a situation where I've got, like, 4 fed in, I'm waiting for the last one. Or in the case of Ospi, maybe I've got 1 fed in, I'm waiting for the, the other 4. But, like, with Loki here, 5 is the max, so there's at minimum 2 excess bonds that I've got nothing to do with. Now, these are all 2 stars. If I go down here a little bit further, we'll get to the 3 stars. Here's all the 3 stars. And then shortly after that, we get to 4 stars. Now, this is really, really, really important. So pay very, very close attention to what I'm about to do next. Right over here above the bell bond, where it says sell at the bottom, I could sell the singular bond there, and that's just then going to give me, some basic stuff. If I actually go to the top, right above that, sell multiple items, it gives me an option to sell 2, 3, and even 4-star bonds. Okay? Now, you'll notice there's 2 buttons down here. There's sell all and sell surplus. Be careful with this, but you don't have to be too terribly careful, because if you notice, if I put on 4 stars, it will take off the sell all button. You actually cannot accidentally sell all your 4-star bonds, which is really nice. That is a massive, massive benefit to the player base, because you could really screw up here easily and inadvertently sell everything. It will only allow you to sell surplus. So let's see what happens if I sell surplus, okay? 212 Seiros, that's a thing. That's a thing. If I'm honest here, if I'm completely honest with you guys, a lot of that is because at the end of last month, and probably what you should do as well, before the month expires, because remember, this is on a this is literally a monthly cycle. It's not 30 days, it's whatever. It's literally the first of every month, the Seiros and Dulb exchange will reset. So basically, you've got the entire month to farm up everything you can out of there. And a lot of times, basically, what you want to do is you want to go back in like the last week and check and make sure everything's wiped out. Like, literally everything should be gone. Now, for me, I know for a fact that all these 2 stars, I'm probably not going to max. But I'm definitely not going to max on my 3 stars. Now, there is a benefit to this. I will talk about that here in just a moment. But for me, for where I'm at currently, I don't think I'm planning to do that, just because I've got so many other units that I need to basically to upgrade. Because not only are you going to farm Iris from this, you're also going to upgrade your units. It gives your units bigger and better stats. So really, there's like a massive benefit to what we're going to do here. But I'll cover like basically the good, the bad, and the ugly of this whole thing here in just a quick second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to sell multiple items, and I'm going to sell all of my 3-star bonds. Now, I'm not going to sell all my 2 stars. I'm only going to sell my 3 stars, and I'll explain why here in a moment. And that gets me up to 232. So, like, I don't have a huge amount of 3 stars. Like I said, I sold a bunch of mine. But I'm also going to go down here, and I'm going to break exactly what I said I wasn't going to do. Hopefully she forgives me. I'm actually going to sell my Artemis bonds, just for the sake of the video. Now, these are 4-star units, so pay very close attention to what I do here. So I go to sell, max that out, that's the 1 bond. That's going to give me 50 Seiros, and that is going to give me the 10 Dulb. What does Dulb do? I'll explain in a moment. Okay? So we got 282. I'd like to actually get up to 500. So let's sell a couple more things, all right? I'm going to sell my other Artemis bond. Said I wasn't going to do this, but for the sake of the video, I think it's important. And we're going to sell, let's see. Let's just sell a couple of 2 stars that I really don't think I'm going to max. Let's sell that. 342. Let's sell hers. 352. Now, that one thing to bear in mind here as I'm doing this, as yes, and you know what? Forget it. We're just going to sell all the 2 stars. I don't recommend this maneuver for one very good reason, but we literally have so many that actually didn't benefit me much, did it? We actually have so many. I'll just stick with that for now. We have so many summons that we're getting. Remember, we get an 11 draw a day. We're going to get a lot of 2 stars out of that, and I'm sitting on a ton of tickets that I haven't like spent yet. So do bear in mind, even if you sell all of them like I just did, you do have the capability to go back in here and reaccrue them, so it's not the end of the world. But if I go back here to the Seiros and Dulb exchange, and I go down here, now I have 382, which isn't great, but I can actually buy some of these CP items. Now, if you've never done CP item upgrades before, we'll get into that here in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and buy, actually, Aurario's souvenirs. Now, I wouldn't recommend this for most people, only because Aurario's souvenirs are strictly designed around your crossover units, but a lot of my crossover units are what are really holding me back at the moment. Now, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, I believe Dungeon Cakes, Dungeon Sandwiches are the 2 most prominent. I think most units will utilize that. Right after that, it's actually the bouquets, and then Books of Nobility, Books of Knowledge are basically the lesser used. So if you want to prioritize, I would prioritize Dungeon Sandwiches and Dungeon Cakes first, then the bouquets, then Books of Knowledge, Books of Nobility. These would normally be last, but when I get into my CP levels, I'll kind of explain what I'm talking about here. But let's go over here real quick and talk about the bonds themselves. I just spent all of mine. Everything is gone. And every time I do this, there's somebody in the comments that screams bloody murder. And I'll kind of explain why. So if I go here to status board, and let's just go ahead and pull up all of our 2-star units. I have quite a few that are maxed. But you'll notice all of mine that are maxed, with rare exception, are somewhere like level 76 or something like that. The reason for this, the reason that I don't take them all the way up to level 80, is because every single day, if you go down here into the guild, there's a little option down here that says, where is it? Boost status board. So in other words, you need to boost a level, you need to add, if I just go in here to status board again, and we grab a 2-star, let's just grab her for the sake of argument. So if Ina, let's say I just need to upgrade something. Notice I left this last one completely like undone. So I could do one of those, or I could go up here and I could literally do a level upgrade. Now, when you get to this state, don't like auto and just, you know, fill in the blanks. What you want to do is you just want to do like 1. Okay? Because that still counts. And then, you know, like, I've still got some upgradability in her. I've still got some things to do. And then every single day I can go down here into the guild, and I can get my reward for that. Because remember, daily there's 10 iris up for grabs here. That's 300 iris a month, guys. So you don't want to miss out on that. If you EOL all of your 2 and 3 star units, you will learn to hate life because you'll be missing out on so much free daily iris. So be very cautious about that. Very, very cautious about that. Now, why would you do that? Let's go back in here one more time, and if I go on my 2 stars, you'll notice that I have a lot of them fully upgraded. But some of them I don't. Like, you know, that was the Loki that she's level 60 that I just threw away all of her bonds. Well, when you upgrade units, when you take them from level 1 up to level 80, you get, well, technically not even level 80. When you take them up to like +5, you get a sum total of 80 iris per unit you upgrade. And that's huge. That's absolutely massive. And if you do the math on this, that's a lot of iris that I've actually farmed. And actually, if I go back out here one more time, now, mind you, because they're level 60, I kind of have already farmed some of the iris. I will only get 50 iris per unit just for throwing in, you know, throwing in their bonds. So that'd be 50. Misha would give me 100. I'm going to go for all units that are level 60. So these two right here would be about, you know, the 250. Those, because I noticed there's 3 actually right there. 250. So, like, right here, 250 iris I could farm up like that. Like, nothing. Okay? Even Hestia down here. That's another little bit more than 250. That's be like 310 or so. That I could farm up like it was nothing. Also, same with 3 stars. So, as you upgrade the 3 stars, you also get up to 80 iris per unit you upgrade. But that's from level 1. So, like, these units right here, they probably net me about 60, 70 iris in the total of the upgrades. The downside of this is pretty much that doesn't give me the opportunity to do that later on. You could do this once. That's why they call it EOL. You could have end of life your units really, really, really quickly. Now, you will notice the potential for a lot of iris upgrades in here. And that, I will agree, is definitely a potential benefit. But, and I will emphasize very strictly, what I'm going to do over here, if I go to character list and I go over here to the character list right here, this has the potential, and I will emphasize potential, to yield much higher results. So long as you're not as far along as I am. Now, let's get into it. Okay, I'm actually going to go out. Well, no, I'll show you that here in a moment. So, if I scroll all the way down here to the bottom, you notice that some of my units, Haruhime, for example, are like really high level. And actually, I've got a lot of units that are here like in the level 25 to 30 range. A ton of units are in that range. The reason for that is because I've been doing this for a really long time. I've been at this for quite a bit of time. And every single time you upgrade one of these units, not only are you getting iris rewards, you are also upgrading those units. Which, once again, I'll show you, but let me get all the way down to the bottom here. Now, you will notice as we go to the bottom, you get to some of the units that are a little more rare, maybe not as useful, and then you'll start getting into, like with Toka and Priestess here, units that are from crossover events. So we get to like some of the older units that you just flat out never use. That is actually why I bought the Arario souvenirs, because if I go down here, my lowest level units, all these units are like level 20. These are all crossover units, and I want to upgrade them. Okay? So, let's just grab Shido here for simple example. If I go to CP reward list, it's actually going to tell me right here at the top, I need about 9,100. I'll just say for the sake of argument, 9,200 CP to get them up to the next level. Let's see if there's somebody that's actually closer. Not really. All right, let's go up here. Let's just grab Armin. Let's see. Armin to get up to level 23 requires 638. So, really, to upgrade Armin, if I go to offer present, I go down here, I'll grab my Arario souvenirs, and 4 of these will actually get us up to the next level. Why is that? Well, let's go kind of explain this a little bit. So now we're at level 23 with Armin, and you'll notice we got 50 HP. Now, why do we get Iris? How do we get Iris? How does this work? If I go to CP reward list once again, it'll show me right here, not only up here in the top corner, how much CP is required to get to the next level, in this case, 2,000. If I scroll down a little bit further, you notice at level 2, we got some agility, level 3, we got Iris, level 4, we got some dex, level 5, we got some Iris, so on and so forth. There's a lot of Iris rewards in here. And it's like every even level up to, I could be wrong in this, I believe it's every even level up to like 28, I believe, is going to be Iris, and then there's some Iris strewn in above that. Let's see, there's 28, there's some Iris. Yeah. So that then becomes everything after 28 to 41 then is all going to be like major upgrades to your units. So basically, once you get all your units up to level 28, you farmed up the majority of the Iris that's up there, and then you've got to get quite a bit further. So do be aware of that little factoid, okay? Now, once you get up here into the high levels, there is some Iris to claim, but it's going to take so long to accrue that. There's some question. At that point, that's the point where you're really like, okay, cool. I need to focus on my 2 and 3 star units. That's how I'm going to get Iris. But for, you know, a lot of these units that are down here in the 20s, it is expensive, but it's not crazy. So let's once again go here and look at, let's grab anybody random. Sayaka. Okay, so if I go here to CP reward list, Sayaka needs 1,500. So basically she needs 8 of these. All right. Now, why do I say 8? If I go down here, you'll see Aurario Souvenir is CP plus 200. So, in other words, it's a step of 200 CP every time we select one of those. So if we go to offer present, boom, 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 boom. So 4 would be 800, 5 would be 1,000, 6 would be 12, 7 would be 14, and now this is 1,600. And that's going to take us up to level 21. Bam. Good stuff right there. And we got MP 10. Let's see what she needs to get up to 22. 1837. That's fine. So we'll just give her 20 of these. For better or worse, yeah. We'll go ahead and do it. So that's gonna be. I'm doing it wrong. That would be 4,000. We need 2,000. Make sure you do your maths right, guys. Make sure you do your maths right. There we go. Do your math right. Don't make the mistake I just made, because that would have been like, I would have been mad at myself for that. I'm like, those are very limited. You get a set number of those every month. They're hard to farm. They're hard to come by. Do be cautious with the Aurario souvenirs. But to get back into it, if I go to offer details, you notice we have the Dungeon Sandwich, Book of Knowledge, and Single Flower. Now, those are all set to 100. Check this out. If I go up here, grab just one of the mainline units. Okay, Aranos, for just random example. If I go to offer present, you notice Aranos actually wants Books of Knowledge. So that actually becomes CP 200, where Dungeon Sandwich and Single Flower are still CP 100. Basically, every unit has something they prefer. So with his, in the case of Aranos, that little heart icon you see over there tells me that he wants Books of Knowledge. So for every item here, I'm getting 200 CP instead of the usual 100. Now if I go down here, I hope I have the big Book of Knowledge. I have the big bouquet, so I'll grab... Who do we have that will take the bouquet? I don't remember who will take the bouquet. Someone wants Books of Knowledge, which kind of makes sense. I don't remember. I know most of these units. Aphrodite wants Single Flowers. So, for Aphrodite, notice Single Flower is 200 CP. Big Bouquet now becomes 400. Whereas prior, if I grab literally anybody else, let's grab Ryulu. She wants those too. Chigusa wants those too. Fina, let's grab Anya, because I know Anya wants Dungeon Sandwiches. Offer present. Now, Anya wants the Dungeon Sandwich, so the Single Flower becomes 100 and Big Bouquet becomes 200. You want to use the favorite item. I'm actually wasting efforts if I'm using the Big Bouquet on Anya. So you do want to be cautious about this. Upgrade units accordingly. It's very simple once you get down to it. If you've never done this before, then just learn your methodology, and really by like the third time you do this, you'll be an expert. It's so super simple. Now, obviously we see now how we accrue Iris. Basically, almost every other reward is an Iris reward. There's also another way. If I go out here and I go to guild and I go to total here, it'll say down here CP level 29 for Belle. When I get 55 units at CP level 29, I'm going to get 10 Iris. CP level 28, when I get 60 units there, I'm going to get 10 Iris. Basically, every 5 units you upgrade to a CP level, you're going to get some more Iris. Now, last month when I went through this, I got several hundred Iris. We jumped in one day by like 1,000 Iris just by upgrading all these things. So you do want to make sure you are doing all this. Not only that, we've been working on Belle's CP. I'm sorry, no, I take it back. We've been working on Isa's CP. I should have known that because it was blue. If I click the little refresh icon up at the top, it's going to take me to Leafia. You should already know this. Basically, if you're new at the game, you unlock these by getting to Belle. I believe it's level 15 on normal mode. You'll unlock the Leafia and Eyes quests. Do like one mode in each one of those. You'll unlock them here, and you'll be able to do more. Because if I go back in here to character list, notice the numbers are a little bit different, and they're pink now. Eyes has her own levels. Leafy has her own levels, and Belle has his own levels. So literally you could do this 3 times over. Now, once again, the items you buy out of the Seiros and Dulb exchange, those are very limited. But if I go down here, I might have, I probably don't because I think I've upgraded everybody. Oh, actually, Aphrodite's really low level. Notice she was really high level before. So Aphrodite's one that I could actually upgrade. And what's really interesting about Aphrodite and Ilia currently is they actually have their own things. I don't believe I have any of them, no, but they have holy torches you can currently farm and upgrade their levels like massively. So you really should be farming that from the current tale for, I want to say, part 1 of the tale for both Aphrodite and Ilia. That is super worth, guys. Use your gacha for part 1 so long as it's here to get free CP for Aphrodite and Ilia. I know it sounds weird, but do the daily farm on that, and it is worthwhile. 100% completely. Okay, so let's talk quickly about the unit upgrades, because like you saw up here, Haruhime is my most upgraded unit. Main reason for that is just because literally I run her on every single team. She has been on every team basically since she dropped in the game. And because of that, you do get CP rewards, not just for doing these upgrades, but for running these units. So like when I go into do just general daily grind, you will notice I have a party here that kind of looks questionable party. Literally, you'll notice it is all, except for Belle in the front, and Casinos here, it is all crossover units with Belle, with the exception of Belle. And the reason for that is because as I grind up the story event, I'm grinding up CP levels for these units. So it's just another way that I can grind CP levels, grind not just upgrades for these guys, but also accrue some Iris along the way. I can't stress enough how much you need to take advantage of this. But let's do one more thing. Let's look at those numbers. So remember, Haruhime is my most upgraded unit. If I go down here into the album, let's actually grab the new Haruhime, because I adore her. She's really good. The new Wind Haruhime, she's fantastic. Did I pass her? Let's go to filter. Let's do this the easy way. Bam. All right. So the Wind Haruhime, the brand new one we just got, this one that basically replaces the OG. If you look at her numbers, you'll notice her numbers are pretty good. HP 3576, you want to pay very close attention to that. Magic 1768, and let's look at her agility, 1003. Okay, so 3576, 1003, and 1768. Remember those numbers. This is the baseline that you get whenever we talk about units, whenever we do all that kind of stuff. Now, if I go grab her out of a random team, or not, let's grab her here. Boom, Haruhime, and the new Wind one. My numbers are a hell of a lot higher. She's got almost 100 more agility, 200 more magic, and 400 more HP with 450 HP. Something like that. Like an insane amount higher. Like she's almost at a 4K mark that I like for units to be at. Her numbers are incredible. That is because as you upgrade all your stuff, your CP items compile. And that does mean that the Belle list, the Leafy list, and the Eyes list all are additive. As you upgrade each one, you upgrade each unit. So as I get all my units up to that level that Haruhime is at, they're all going to get a lot stronger. Now, I believe the end-all, be-all for that is level 39, I think is the last MP upgrade. Beyond that, I believe there's an HP upgrade at 38. So that's kind of your sweet spot. Beyond that, it's all what I call vanity rewards, some Iris, some Ascension Fall, and a couple of Hero Lights here and there. Not a huge amount to accrue. But prior to that, basically when you get up to like level 39, every unit level 39 is maxed out in stats, at least for the time being. We did get a hint earlier we might get some more CP upgrades here in the future. I can actually show you what I'm talking about with that. And this is just going to kind of be the last thing, and then we'll call the video, because this is a very long video. First of the month video is always an insanely long video. If we go up here to our profile, okay, these little kind of like vanity tokens that you can add onto units now, they have meaning and they have purpose. So like for the Haruhime one, what is it? Okay, so Gareth Superfan. Let's go down here and look at some of the ones that are not unlocked. So to get to the eye Superfan, all units must be more than one CP level more than 100. So in other words, I'd have to have 2 at level 50, or every single one of them above level 30, 33 and change. So all of 34. So all of my eyes must be above level 34 to unlock this. But that's only for the blue ones. What about these red ones? They must be more than 150. Right now, 150 is the highest we can get. Now, this will unlock at 150, and it does say more than. It's a little bit of a misnomer. But this actually might insinuate that more CP levels are coming. So once that is confirmed, once we get more information on that, I'll let you guys know. That would be really awesome. That'd be more waste upgrade units, maybe even better rewards than we have now. Maybe bigger upgrades for these units, which would be truly, truly, truly awesome. But for now, that's pretty much it, guys. Now, you do have a decision to make. Are you going to take the quick route? Or are you going to upgrade the 2 and 3 stars and, get that quickie Iris? I wouldn't be mad. In fact, I might do some of that myself towards the end of the month. Or are you going to go the CP route? I will say, if you do the math on it, if you're below level 20, the CP route actually gives you more for your input. But it does take longer. It's a significant amount more work. So just really sit down and consider your options wisely. But there you go. You've got 25 days, almost the entire month. Make sure you farm all this stuff up. Make sure you take advantage of all of your free tickets, all your free summons, and go to town. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments section. I know everybody's got a different school of thought on this, but I want to put everything on the table so you guys know there is light at the end of the tunnel. I know we've done a lot of summons lately, but you can re-accrue Iris pretty quickly. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And the live stream. Don't forget live stream at 10 p.m. this evening Eastern Time. See y'all there.